Alright, so this video is going to show, address making some curved shapes that some people have been asking about, particularly for making things like cars and skateboards and stuff like that, that might need sort of a more sophisticated curvature. So, okay, there's a couple of ideas. These aren't the angling ways, and this is a pretty simplified way you may have to add on to. But step one may be that you may want to start out with, instead of the rectangles and circles that have formed most of what we've drawn, you may want to use the line tool and just sort of freeform and draw things freehand. And so that's what this was done with. It's fine. So we've got this thing. I'm just going to right click on it and say edit, and we're going to extrude it. And fine, we've got this thing. Here's our object. Now that we have this object, two obvious ideas are fillet and chamfer. Let's try fillet. And you'll notice that when we open this up, it asks us, this area here is highlighted, entities to fillet. So there are a couple of options, but if I click this line, that's an edge. Let's see what happens. So fillet kind of curves a surface. I mean, it doesn't kind of, it curves it. Okay, so you'll notice that this area is curved, whereas this one had that kind of hard angle. And let's edit that fillet a little bit. Down here, we've got width. Right now it's 0.5. What if I change that and made it bigger, 2, and hit enter? What would happen? It would make it a longer, more gentle curve, and it cuts more material away. You'd want to play with all this stuff. What does radius do? Changed it a little bit. What does conic versus curvature do? Just play around with that to see what fits your need better. But for now, I'm going to X that out. And let's go back to entities to fillet. I might be able to fillet this whole top. Before I just had this one edge selected. Let's try what happens if I fillet this whole top. Didn't like that. Notice it turned red. Anytime that happens, I just get rid of it. So let's try this side here. Alright, notice again a curvature. I'm going to X out and go back to what we had just to leave it so we show that one. And it's curved, and let's make this 1 inch. And sort of like that. Okay, so another option is to use something called a chamfer. So let's try, real quick, I'm just going to make a quarter rectangle. And let's extrude that. And there we've got. So this would do something similar to what the fillet did, but I'm going to say chamfer. And select an edge, and it cuts it off, but this cuts it off at in an angled way, but it can create some softer angles than what you might be able to create. So we're going to take a look at one other idea, though, in terms of making different curves. So same idea. I'm going to sketch on here. Let's make some free lines. So I'm going to start with these 2 lines here. And then here might be another option for creating a softer line. Here, this is the 3-point arc. Okay, and we have this drop down menu. It has a few different options that you can play around with, but I'm going to just use the 3-point arc. And if I choose that, and I click on one line, or 1 point, and then another point, it's going to connect them with a curve. And then I can choose by going in, or I'm sorry, out or in, how steep or gentle to make that curve. I could do that on this one too. And I just want to finish with one idea. Let's extrude that and see what it would be like. Another way that can enhance your variations of shapes. Let's go to this extrude and delete it so that I just have this shape right now. Which I guess, so if I were to, let's see, let's delete this. Let's see if I can fillet a line. I'm not sure if I can fillet a line here. Nope. Can't do that. But remember the revolve tool. Let's edit that. And here it is. Revolve. And I can revolve around, choose the revolve axis here. And I can choose any of these lines. And see what that made? Kind of a pretty neat shape. If I undo that, that's what it was. But when I revolved it around this, it made that kind of interesting shape. What if I said the revolve axis was this? And usually any straight line, it'll let you revolve around. Look at that. Who would have guessed that that's what it makes? So I recommend playing around with the revolve tool in certain cases to see if you can make an interesting shape. Some of you are making a trophy. That seems like it could be part of a pretty interesting trophy. So